The Olympic Games have officially kicked off in Paris, and that means that the fastest people in the world will finally get a chance to prove it on the biggest stage the world has to offer, track and field. And although Team USA will likely be competing for medals in almost every event that they have, I know that the women's 100-meter dash is where everybody's going to be paying attention. And we know that America takes sprinting seriously, which is why they hold the world record in the women's 4x1 from their performance in 2012. But in the women's 100-meter dash, you would have to go all the way back to 1996 to find the last time an American woman won gold in that event. I'm not making this up. So the fact that Sha'Carri Richardson will be on the line for the 100 and is clearly the favorite to anybody who actually follows track and field is a very big deal. But there's a big difference between being the favorite and actually going out there to win the gold. It's why we run the races. And a lot of people who will be watching this event don't know much about anybody who's going to be running, aside from Sha'Carri Richardson, and of course Shelly Ann Fraser-Pryce. I would have also said Shericka Jackson, but I'm glad that I waited to make this video, because now we know she will not be on the line to compete in the women's 100. And she got the silver medal behind Sha'Carri at the last World Championship. To be real with you, when I first heard that Shericka was not going to be on the line, I did start to assume that Sha'Carri was going to have this on lock. But I know track and field, and that is never a safe bet. So for that reason, I decided that I needed to take a second look, a closer look, at every woman who is actually going to be on the starting line for the women's 100. A brutally honest assessment of what's really going to happen out there on the track. That way, by telling you what I'm actually thinking, I can tell you that I told you so, if I get it right. And of course, if I get it wrong, I'm just going to keep telling you that I'm human. So let's have a real conversation about the women's 100-meter dash for the Paris 2024 Olympics. Because most people think they know who is supposed to win, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. So when it comes to breaking down the field, there's only one way that I know how to do this. I put people into categories to make it a whole lot easier. You have the favorite, because there's really only one of them. You have the contenders. There's only two of those. Then you have the challengers. There's more of them than you might think. And beyond that, we have the contestants. As far as I'm concerned, we're probably going to have at least one contestant in the final race. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm just calling it like I see it. If you are in the contestant group, you're not getting a medal, and you probably know that already. And to be real with you, you're probably not going to be in the top 5 or even the top 6. Making the final at the Olympics will probably be the biggest accomplishment that you have, and you go into the races with that in mind. And even without Shericka Jackson, the plot line for the podium is actually way more interesting than most people think. But of course, that plot has to start with Sha'Carri Richardson. I told you I would give you my honest opinions, so here they are. She is the reigning world champion for a reason, because she's the most talented 100-meter runner in the game right now. But I have to put emphasis on that statement, in the game right now, because I'm going to get to some other people in the moment. From what we've seen, she has always been incredibly fast. The only thing we needed to see was for her to do it when the lights were on and it was time to perform. She pulled it off at the last World Championships, so you gotta give her a checkbox on that now. I admit that the Olympics are something different, and her start definitely can betray her from time to time. But as far as the clock goes, she runs times that, for the most part, nobody else in the world is proven they can run right now. She's the fastest woman in the world this year by a pretty legitimate margin, and as far as the World Championships go, she broke the championship record in that final from last season. Need I say more? But everything that I just said highlights this one point. Her being the favorite puts all the pressure on her now, because this gold medal is supposed to be her gold medal. If anybody else leaves this Olympics with that around their neck, it is a failure. We are not going to recognize any other medal as an accomplishment when it comes to her. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, the founder of SCArecruiting.com, where I rank the best track and field recruits across the entire nation. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. And when it comes to the challengers, here's where the plot gets interesting, because Shelly Ann Fraser-Pryce is still going to be there. She has been at the Olympics, running the 100 since 2008. She showed up with Bolt and won it back then. She has gotten a medal at every single Olympics between then and now. Her personal best in the 100 is actually even faster than Sha'Carri's, and she did it in 2021, which is 13 years after her first Olympic gold medal. Simply put, this Olympics is still going to come down to USA versus Jamaica, like it always does. The only problem is, from 2008 till now, Jamaica's been coming out on top, by a lot. Simply put, you could easily argue that Shelly Ann Fraser-Pryce is the queen of the women's 100. And if you don't follow track and field all that much, allow me to clarify that last part. Her career is probably something like LeBron James in that event. She has been at the highest level for longer than anybody we've ever seen. So if Sha'Carri Richardson really wants the crown as the queen of the women's 100, she's going to probably have to take it off of the woman who's still holding it. But there's one more challenger that I have to address, because most people still aren't paying attention to her. And yes, you heard it from me. Julien Alfred of St. Lucia is legit. She's the second fastest woman in the world this year. But the reason why you probably don't know much about her is because up until this season, she'd been running at the college level. So in case you weren't paying attention, allow me to fill you in on just how dominant she actually is. As far as her last college season goes, she basically ran the perfect college season, with a whole bunch of championships and collegiate records to go with it. She turned pro immediately thereafter and ran in her first pro race against Sha'Carri Richardson, of course. And she actually beat her in the 100-meter dash. From there, she only got 5th, and notice I said only, at the last World Championship in 2023. And that was after her entire collegiate season. Remember that really fast, perfect season I talked about? And in 2024, she won the World Indoor Championship in the 60-meter dash, which is not surprising if you know just how fast she was while she was running in college. And now she's entering the games as the second fastest woman in 2024 on the starting list to only Sha'Carri Richardson. They faced off once at the Prefontaine Classic. Sha'Carri Richardson won that battle, but since that moment, Julien Alfred has definitely gone faster than that. What I'm trying to say is that Julien Alfred of St. Lucia is entering the Olympic Games playing with house money. Nobody from her nation has ever won a track and field medal. She would be the first on the men's and women's sides. And nobody outside of that nation is expecting her to do much. We're still focusing on USA and Jamaica, rightfully so. But Julien Alfred is for real. And if somebody not named Shelly Ann Fraser-Pryce or Sha'Carri Richardson is going to win the gold medal, she would be that woman. The two additional challengers that I see in the field are going to keep the USA versus Jamaica thing going. One is Melissa Jefferson, who is the American champion from 2022, and the other is Tia Clayton, who's one of the youngest women on the starting line. As far as Melissa Jefferson is concerned, she is the fastest woman that America has, not named Sha'Carri Richardson. And we know this pretty officially now, because she was the American champion in 2022 when Sha'Carri was underachieving. Just to be honest, she's already competed in world level finals and now is on the Olympic stage. What I'm trying to say is she ain't scared by the moment, even if this is the first time that you're gonna see her. And Tia Clayton is clearly a prodigy. I'm not gonna pretend that I know a whole bunch about her. What I do know is she's fast, like 10.8 fast, at 19 years old, and that's not normal. I don't know how much faster she can go, but that's fast enough to get yourself into the final, and perhaps sneak onto a bronze medal once you get there. I'm not even gonna try to address all of the contestants by name. We ain't got time for that. What I am gonna do is shout out just a few of them, because they are names that somebody might recognize, even though I don't think they're realistically gonna get a medal against the 5 women I just said. Twanisha Terry has run for Team USA multiple times by now. That is a big deal, which means she'll be comfortable doing it again. She just hasn't shown us she has the talent to not only make the final, but compete for a medal when she does. And Mujinga Kambunji of Switzerland can make a world level final. She's been doing it for the better part of her career. But once again, watching her get a medal in those world level finals is not something that we're used to. And similar to her is Marie-Josée Talu of Côte d'Ivoire. If you've been paying attention to track and field for the past decade, she's been running pretty fast, and she's been in world level finals. She normally doesn't get a medal when she's there, but she does figure out how to get that far. And the wild card that I have to shout out is Iga Swoboda of Poland. She was actually the World Indoor Championship silver medalist in the 60-meter dash. That means if she does get to the final, she's going to make it interesting in the first half, even if she doesn't hold everybody off in the second half. When it comes to my predictions, allow me to be very clear. For the women's 100-meter dash in Paris for 2024, Sha'Carri Richardson is supposed to win. She's the most talented woman who's actively running those times at this present moment in her career. Coming out of 2023, Shericka Jackson was the only woman whom I thought had a chance to beat her. And not a whole lot has changed from then until now. The only thing that did is that Shericka won't be on the starting line, but Shelly Ann Fraser-Pryce has already proven that she knows how to get the job done at the Olympics. It's why she has the most experience heading into these games. Do I personally think that she's going to run close to personal best times in these games? Not necessarily, but I hesitate to count it against her because, well, she's proven us wrong time and time again. But whenever you see Julien Alfred on the starting line, please take that woman seriously. She has the talent, perhaps, to go with Sha'Carri in the final race. For that matter, her performance at the World Indoor Meet had made it clear she's going to be out in front, and Sha'Carri is going to be chasing her down, not the other way around. Because truth be told, track and field really isn't just about running fast. It's about running fast in the one race that you actually need to run. And that race is always the 100-meter dash final at the Olympics, where Sha'Carri Richardson is the favorite in 2024. And she will find out that in the sport of track and field, if you're not first, then you're last, and that's that. SCA track and field gear is here. Fast is a lifestyle, and what you wear should reflect that. Order yours at scarecruiting.com/shop or use the link in the description below. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.